Hi guys, and welcome to episode 11 of Ready Steady Read. Welcome to this newest edition of Ready Steady Read. Thank you for joining me on episode 11. It doesn't seem that long ago that I actually started this, and I can't believe the response that people have been sending in and all the wonderful comments that you've sent in. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't done so already, then please, I urge you to click the subscribe button just at the bottom here and also click the notification button. And what that will do is that will let you know when new videos go up on the Alakazam YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about this amazing book behind me, Stand Up Card Magic by Roberto Joby. So before I take a look at Stand Up Card Magic by Roberto Joby, I just thought I'd have a quick chat with you. It seems that quite a few people were taken with the fact that I gave them information as to where to buy second-hand magic books in the last episode. I'm glad that I could have been of help, and I wish that you had, or that you have, every success in finding the books that you're after. There's no doubt that some of them are going to be more difficult than others. Some of them you're going to get bargains, some of them you'll probably have to pay a little bit more for, but that is part of the joy of looking for the magic books. I guarantee that if there's books that you are after, the moment that you get them, you'll be like a kid in a candy store. You really will be. You'll be looking for all the pages, you'll be making notes. It'll really take over probably your evening, if not your day, when you receive it. It is a joy getting a new magic book, whether that's one that you've brought brand new or whether it's one that you've got second hand. There is a lot of joy of that coming through. I got a book that came through recently, if I can remember where I put it. Where is it? This one here. This is a Mendoza portfolio. I brought this recently, and in actual fact, I looked at it because John Mendoza's died recently. I do have the Book of John, verse 1 and 2. And I was just interested in see what sort of material was in here, and there's some great stuff in here by different magicians such as Bernard Bellis, Jamie and Swiss, there's Jeff Latta, Richard Volmer, and a couple of other people that are in here from Europe and from America. So I was just interested to see what it was like, and even though this is a battered copy, the material in here so far has been dynamite. So you know, it's well worth seeking out these different books. It's well worth taking a look at them just to see what you find. So just a couple of other little things that I just wanted to mention with regards to Stand Up Card Magic. There has been a shift recently, certainly, with the type of magic that's being performed. A lot of close-up magicians are taking to performing in parlour and on stage, and indeed in stand-up and cabaret. And it's very easy when you're looking at putting together a stand-up act, and I know I certainly was guilty of this, that you tend to look for material that is wholly different to that you're doing in close-up. What I mean by this is that for me, in close-up, and like a lot of close-up magicians, obviously we use cards, we use coins, we use things like sponge balls, we do close-up orientated mentalism, you know, so most of the time it doesn't really enter our heads to think about the stuff that we use in close-up making its way into more of a stand-up stroke cabaret environment. Just to elaborate a little bit further on this, let's take a look at cards, for example. Now I do a lot of card magic, especially in close-up, and I know a lot of you guys do as well. And for me, putting an act together for something like stand-up, I probably would not have considered originally adding a stand-up card piece in. And that's a shame, because there are loads and loads of great card tricks that are designed for stand-up spots for use in parlour and on stage. Things like a sidewalk shuffle, for example, you can get in larger size, so that's ideal for stand-up. A trick, albeit that is mainly a comedy trick, such as Stan, Kate and Edith. The cards to pocket, the interchange plot, the Travellers, Vernon's Travellers, ideal for doing in a parlour type environment, and a cabaret if angles and other restrictions allow. You have Milton's Aces, where the aces appear at the front of a glass. You have the homing card. If you take a look at Bill Malone's DVD sets, and I think it's on the second set, which is Here I Go Again, on one of the DVDs he does a fantastic version of the homing card that uses, you know, normal size playing cards, The card keeps coming back, as in the homing card plot, and then at the end you have this amazing finish. It's truly a wonderful routine that would be ideal for a bigger performance. So that's worth considering, especially in the sense that you can get slightly oversized cards now. Phoenix brand, for example, you get cards that are just slightly bigger than poker size, but their faces have been expanded so they play to a bigger audience. Cards up sleeve, it's a wonderful trick. The very fact that the cards are disappearing from here, traveling up your sleeve and reappearing in his pocket is amazing. It's very mystifying when done well. Loads of great people have explored this plot. You only have to look at the work of John Carney, for example, who has a wonderful variation of this, where you actually see a card traveling to its destination. It's absolutely brilliant. The work of Andrew Galloway on his DVDs, certainly worth checking out with regards to that plot. So it's, there are plots out there that are card magic tricks that can be taken from what would be essentially close-up items and made to perform to much larger audiences. So this is where this book Stand Up Card Magic comes in. A short while ago, I went through a period when I was doing far more stand-up than I was actually close-up. On occasions I would do close-up and then into a stand-up spot, usually for about half an hour. And certainly when I first began to look at doing a stand-up spot, I would actually do mainly mentalism. I would do half an hour of mentalism, things like Casino Royale, which is a great effect. I would do Trilogy Extreme and a couple of other different items, a book test of some sort, something like Final Flashback, for example. And that would be my set. For me, my mentality, I think, was that I could take these effects, I could work on them within a short amount of time, get something that I was happy with within a short amount of time, and then I would go out and perform. So it was kind of, it ticked all the boxes. It was something that I took, I did, and that was kind of it. And one of the things that kind of struck me though was that I felt, from my personal point of view, that this wasn't always a true reflection of me as a performer. I'm certainly not a mentalist. I do very little in the way of mentalism. Things like Hollywood I Bust I tend to do a lot, and some other items I do tend to do regularly, but I'm in no means, or by no means, a mentalist. And so I was looking for things that actually I would be more comfortable with. One of the things that struck me in part of the conversation we were having earlier on was the fact that because I enjoy card magic, perhaps there was card tricks that I could do that would suit me more if I was doing stand-up. I looked at things like Sidewalk Shuffle, which I do. I looked at Stan, Kate and Edith, which I do. There were some other things that I looked at. I'm keen on the interchange plot, so I tend to do that quite a bit. I like the cards to pocket idea. I like the homing card idea. All of the things that I was talking about earlier on were considerations that I've either adopted or have at the back of my mind should I wish to do them in the future for a stand-up spot. But one of the things that I became aware of was this book, Stand Up Card Magic. And partly because I had seen, just before this, Roberto Jobi's stand-up lecture at Penguin. Now, one of the things that was certainly apparent to me is this was card magic that was engaging, it was entertaining, it was effects that were strong, and this is the thing, there were effects that were not only entertaining and engaging, but strong magic as well. And in the book, as much as in the on the lecture, these were diverse plots as well, and there are some diverse plots in here. So just to give you a rundown of what exactly is in this book, as is the case with a lot of Roberto Jobi material, we start off with a map of the deck. There's an introduction to the nature of the book, opening thoughts as to why stand up magic with cards. You have some tips with regards to performing the card magic. It's very easy when you get up onto or get into a situation where you're performing to a larger group to kind of think in the mindset of I'm only here to do the trick. When I'm performing the trick, I don't have to take other considerations into in the back of my mind, and therefore I kind of get on with it, I do it, and that's kind of it. But what is actually outlined at the beginning of here is to treat it as if it's a stage act, as if you are performing which you are, to a larger audience, and therefore the considerations that you would make as if you were putting a play on the stage. So things like eye contact, things like the way that you approach and engage your audience, acknowledging that you're not just performing to people that are in front of you, you're performing to people that are close. They're in the middle, they're far away, they're to the left, they're to the right, they are scattered around, so that is addressed right at the very beginning here. We get some technical pointers with regards to that, and also some tools that we can use as well, so things like false shuffles, some false cuts that you can use on stage, forces, palming, so techniques that are ideal or have been selected because they are ideal for using in a parlour, cabaret or stage format. Of course, then we go into the tricks, which are described with photos, and as is the case with all Roberto Joby material, not only are the tricks explained, they're explained in exacting detail. Every little tip, every little technique, every little nuance through years of experience performing this type of magic is described in here. Credits are given where they're due, so that's important as well. You get little finesses that have been garnered from talking to other magicians, and little bits of business that in actual fact elevate not only stand-up card magic but any card magic to a different level. So there is tons of great card magic in here. It's difficult once again, because I'm a big fan of Roberto Joby's work, to single out any one or two effects, because they're all great. If I was to choose, and I know this from experience and how strong they are, Card Call is amazing. I remember seeing this in the Penguin lecture. If memory serves, he actually opened up with this particular effect, and I was immediately struck with it and thought, wow, that's brilliant. That is certainly something that I want to do. So that immediately became something that I introduced into my act. The version of the card stab that's in here is absolutely amazing, very easy to do, allows you to spend a lot of time thinking about the presentation behind it. Once again, all the little tips and hints are given in here, and also just lastly, one of the effects that I use all the time, and I really mean this, is an effect called "And Yet It Is." And it's a very, very basic effect, and I think this is what has struck me so much about this particular effect, is the fact that it is very, very simple in plot, and out of the countless times since I've learned to do this trick, I've performed it, it never fails to amaze. It never fails to get the sort of reaction that I want from it, that any magician would want from an effect. So I'm just going to do a performance that I was lucky to film in front of a few people, and I will just say that normally this is played in front of quite a few people, but there's only a few people kind of present because we are still in lockdown, so enjoy. So guys, here we are with my wife Debbie. Say hello, Debbie.
Hello,
And a fantastic Alan and Andrea. Say hello, chaps.
Hello,
chaps. Hello, chaps. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to try. And a lady, yeah, very good. Memory's entertaining, right? So here we are, right? We're going to try something out. Now, Andrea, we've known each other for what, 8 years now?
Yeah.
At the very least. And I think that I know exactly how you react to things, okay. All right? And by that, I mean the sort of choices you make. So in a moment, we're going to test that out, all right? Because I think that I know possibly what cards you're likely to take. Okay, so look, here's some cards there. If you just take, I don't care how you mix them up, you can just kind of do this if you want. Just mix up the packet that's there, and make sure that you're doing, that's it, very good. Oh, professional sort of stuff like this. On camera as well, this is it.
So I can't do very well.
No, that's good, you're doing well, that's it. As long as the cards get mixed up, and was that your card?
Yep.
Good. I was going to say, if it was, that's like me getting ahead of myself. I haven't even got you to choose a card yet. And we will give these a mix together. Fair? So, the other thing that we should do really is take out the two jokers, all right, if they're in here, which I think they probably are. There's one, and okay, there's two. So we will get rid of those so there's no confusion. So I said that I was going to, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to have you select a card. Mm-hmm. You're not to show it to anybody else. Not okay. Alan, not Debbie, not me. Mm-hmm. Okay, you just remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in a moment I'm going to try and intuit whether I've got it right or not.
Okay.
All right, so very, very simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way that we're going to do that is that I'm going to run my thumb down the side here. All you have to do is shout out stop.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever you want.
Stop.
There?
Yeah.
Now, do you want this card or do you want this card?
That card.
Oh, the one that's underneath, the one that's the awkward one. Okay, I will leave that there. Okay, and what I want you to do is I just want you to have a look at it. Keep it close to your chest. Just you have a look at it. So you're the only one that knows what it is. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what I want you to do is just stick that back in there absolutely anywhere you want. Yeah, on the count of 3. 1. She done it? Right. Okay. Well, it's done now. I'll tell you what, you did really well with the shuffling. Do you want to shuffle them together again?
Okay.
Let's just really test whether this is going to work or not. All right, but I'm fairly confident, right, between us that I'm going to get this right. All right, because I know Andrea. We've known each other a long time. I think I can intuit these sort of things. Yeah, I can probably read you a bit better than I can read my wife. To be fair. Yeah. Oh, you're agreeing with that.
Yeah.
That's good. Debbie's not. So look, okay. Look at me. 10 of spades.
No.
No, I'm not saying it's your card. I'm just saying it's 10 of spades. Right?
Okay.
I know that's not your card because you wouldn't choose the 10 of spades.
No.
4 of hearts.
No.
Also not your card because I know you wouldn't choose the 4 of hearts. 6 of clubs, definitely not. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Look at me. This is the one just here. Okay, that's the one that I think it is. Now, I'll be honest, right? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. All right. So just look at me. Always remain concentrating on me. So the first question is, was your card a red card?
Yes.
That's a red card. That's a red card. Was your card a heart?
Yes.
That's a heart. It's a heart. I'm so excited because I can read people. Was your card a high card?
Yes.
That's a high card. That's a high card. And your card was? What was
You
it?
tell me.
No, you've got to tell me what it was.
No, you tell me.
You tell me. Go on, in front of everybody. Go on,
No,
go
you've
for
got
it.
to tell me.
What it was a Jack of Hearts, right?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
On camera as well. But I do. What was it?
10 of hearts.
Oh right. Okay. So this is why I read people really well because that is indeed the 10 of hearts. So that was an effect called And Yet It Is. It's based on the Unknown Soldier's card trick, so it's related in here, which was an effect that Pat Page was shown by Ken DeCourcy, or so we believe anyway. This is what's said in here. Like I said, it's a great effect. It plays extremely well. It does play, I will just say, very, very well for large audiences, and I'm sure from the video you'll see why. But it is a great trick if you have a few people as well. So even if you decided that you weren't going to use it in the context that I'm describing it here for stand-up card magic, then you can certainly use it for slightly larger groups if you're doing it in close-up magic too. So in short, Stand-Up Card Magic is, as you would expect, an amazing book by Roberto Joby. It is typical Joby writing. It's very, very clearly described, very, very clearly illustrated with photos, and it's just a wonderful book. So if you wanted to get into stand-up card magic or stand-up magic that maybe incorporated cards a little bit more, then Stand-Up Card Magic is the book that you should really seek out. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed episode 11 of Ready Steady Read. I hope you've got something out of the episodes that you've seen thus far, and that you check out Stand Up Card Magic, because it is truly a wonderful, wonderful book. If you haven't done so already, then please click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the notification button. That will let you know when new videos go up on our YouTube channel. It only leaves me today to say thank you so much for joining me again, and I'll see you next time on Ready Steady Read.